na engleskom da vam postavim.
Okay, so, well, infrastructure happens on several levels for us. So we've been developing since 2007, so we have infrastructure, or I've always had infrastructure challenges at a local level at the project. So we've had to develop all of our own infrastructure, every street, every street light and so on we've done ourselves during that time period because municipality wasn't able to do it. So just practically the infrastructure challenges start at that level. At a more significant level, I mean, infrastructure really means two things to a developer. One is the transport of money from one place to another. So whether that's a shopper, whether it's a tourist coming to stay in a hotel room, the infrastructure fundamentally moves that finance from one place to another, and then the businesses that you create within the development feed upon that. So it's incredibly important to make that as frictionless as possible at the highest level. And secondly, infrastructure has a profound effect on experience. So usually your first experience, an impression, and usually then your last. If you're a visitor, if you're a tourist, your first impression of the country, your first experience is how easily you get from your point of arrival to your stay, or when you leave, having had hopefully a great stay. The memory that stays with you the most is the one that you experience on the way back out of the country. So our challenges are getting over the local one. Obviously, our challenges are moving people successfully and moving them and creating a great experience for them before and after they've been with us. And quite obviously, that is a question of air travel, it's a question of road travel, and it can be alleviated, I think, by massive improvement in travel by water. So we're not in control of a lot of that infrastructure, so we have to work around it, and it hasn't been a huge restriction for us in the past years, over the years. I think in the last 24 months we've realised that with the wide development in the country, infrastructure really is now becoming a limitation. It really is becoming an experience problem for people. But having said that, there's a lot happening, and we're very grateful for that. And it creates difficulties when it's being implemented. That's life. But it's fantastic to see so much infrastructure underway. But without doubt, the single biggest challenge is the experience of people travelling by air.
Na konkretan primjer, evo upravo ste spomenuli iskustvo posjetilaca, odnosno onih rezidenata ili turista koji dođu u Porto Montenegro i evo sada su u toku radovi na bulevaru Tivatjaz. Kako to utiče na svakodnevno poslovanje Porto Montenegra ako imamo, a sigurno da je većina onih koji su u Porto Montenegru nezadovoljna time što moraju da imaju te gužve u saobraćaju i imamo tako luksuzno mjesto, a s druge strane imamo put kao da ne pripadaju istom mjestu, odnosno opštine. Evo, kako utiču saobraćajne gužve na poslovanje Porto Montenegra?
Well, we're not just a tourism development, of course, now. We're a holistic community that trades all year round, and so for us, the movement of people, the movement of spend, and the experience that it creates is an issue for local people shopping and taking short breaks and dining and all the other things that we do. It's not just about what tourists think when they come to the country. The truth is you can't make an omelette without breaking eggs. So, the chaos which is created by a major road project of the sort that we've got now is part of life. You manage it as best you can. You should manage it absolutely as well as you can. Not just leave it to be a free-for-all, just deliver it any way you can. Somebody should be paying attention to making sure that its negative impact is as limited as possible. But the truth of the matter is, it's never going to be easy. The short answer to your question is, it's a huge problem. I mean, of course, everybody's extremely unhappy about their journey from Podgorica to Tivat, or even from Budva to Tivat, and that's not just tourists. That's very much also local people coming. We have 3 office centres in the village now. 3 business clubs, so we actually have a lot of business people that are moving backwards and forwards who have businesses with us. We have a lot of people shopping, daily shopping now, and we're having people in Boca Place living on the site and commuting to work in the surrounding area in Kotor and what have you. That's actually going to increase as people move into that development, which is happening now. So, of course, it's a huge challenge. Anything that we can do to help, we can. I think there are other infrastructural challenges that maybe people aren't quite so aware of. This one's so obvious to everybody. And those would include power and water. These are becoming big infrastructure challenges. Remember that we also have a shipyard, a very significant shipyard, and for us to grow at the rate that we want to grow at, we have very ambitious plans to grow in the shipyard. Right now, we're constrained entirely by the availability of power, because it's fundamental to an industrial activity like the one at Adriatic 42. And then the last part, which is definitely invisible to a lot of people, is the infrastructure of administration. We're in a municipality which has grown beyond all recognition. The demands on the people, the skills that they require, the technology that they need to manage a municipality that now sort of turns over in business and visitor terms probably 40 or 50 or even more times the activity that it did back in 2008, 9 or 10. This is a huge burden, infrastructural burden on the infrastructure of the administration of the municipality, and quite often that's ignored. I think people are sort of excited about the development. They're worried about the road infrastructure, the air infrastructure. They don't pay quite so much attention to the pressure on the infrastructure of the administration. And I think that's also something that we help with a lot. We help the police. We help the cadastre. We help the border control. We do everything that we can to help to assist them. We support schools. We support the social activities. All of that infrastructure is important to local people and is often not talked about as much as the infrastructure that affects the visitors. So there are many dimensions to it.